Starting recording. All right, so we are on episode 6 of Technogate. Last episode, we had gone to the digital web in order to capture or to obtain a blueprint from the um, Cthulhu sector. You guys were able to get in, get out without very much issue. Um, and you guys are now currently back at Inventium, and you are outside of the outpost, Maxie's outpost, on the outskirts of the uh, Inventium realm. You see all around you piles of junk being built up with small paths going through it, and you have the blueprint schematic digital replica of the what is called the Cthulhu dagger, as far as you understand. So you have that information. You haven't talked to Maxie yet at all, or haven't even breached the, getting to that. So you guys can do whatever you want at this point. But I believe that you guys would be going into Maxie's building, from my understanding, unless anybody has something else that they would like to be doing. Yes, it does. Yep, it has a standard door. Or well, there is a standard door that you can go up to, and okay. Um, you hear some screaming and shouting and bashing and smashing and one moment and some more explosions. And after about 5 minutes of ruckus going on, the door swings open and there's a pile of smoke behind Maxie. Ah, you guys made it back! Great! Oh, wow. Well, looks like uh, looks like I don't owe him one anymore. How was the trip with Ryder? That crazy fuckwad. Did he screw with you too much? Did he have that fucking thing kill you? So he did kill you. Ah, yeah, he killed me last time he brought me there. Oh, he didn't kill you? What? There's like 30 guys that pop out of fucking graves and like smash all of you. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I owe him one. I mean, you guys didn't even have to fucking go there. We kind of have. I mean, oh, uh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's the one. She points over to the corner. There's like a little fire, like uh, smoldering just over by one of those like emergency shower units that's just completely open. But yeah, yeah, yeah. He built that sector. He had this dagger back in 1969. Yeah, that was the last time Wild had have his possession of that thing. Yeah, yeah, it was after he found the blade. Yeah, yeah, he's an asshole. But from my understanding, he wanted to probe you a little bit. I don't know. He likes to look into the new recruits sometimes. Well, I mean, he would have had to have gone there and done the whole thing himself too, but yeah, I mean, he didn't really have to go with them. Anyways, you guys got that blueprint or that replica? It basically is a dagger. It seems like a completely normal dagger to you. You know, in all respect, all format, in the format that it's in currently, it is a dagger. Oh, all right, cool. Now, time to do some comparisons. And she throws off a bunch of junk from one of like these big giant scanners that's just like a kind of like a table basically. And she kind of wipes off all the bunch of junk that's piled up over time, broken parts and smashed things. Puts down the dagger on it, lights up. Dagger starts hovering. The other dagger, um, she goes over, grabs it from the containment unit that she has it in, and throws it onto the table. It also, catches in the gravimetric wave that's being created to suspend these in midair, and they kind of merge as one, and you see a 100% sign appear above it with like like a detailed schematic or breakdown of what it's made out of and different components and ideas of what kind of spheres go into its creation, shit like that. Um, Basically, giving a full breakdown analysis of it. And she goes, "Okay, well, that confirms it. Looks like you guys have an authentic fucking Cthulhu dagger. That's pretty impressive. Where'd you guys say that you got this again?" She types onto the computer for on a computer next to her for a little bit and pulls up Muddin's picture and a bunch of information on him. Uh, Basically, what you guys had access to. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it was Muddin, right? Huh. Well, I mean, I've had a while to study the dagger now for a little bit. I've been going back and trying to figure out its history. Um, so, from my understanding, Wild actually came into the possession of this blade in 1999, made a copy of it in the digital web, and created that sector around it. Afterwards, it went missing out of his possession. He doesn't know what happened to it, and didn't really move on with the project that he was working on regarding it. Um, he still had tons of data regarding it, but he moved on. Um, After that, we lost all track of it. So I've recently, and now that I've got the analysis complete of knowing a lot more, I'm able to decipher where this object has actually been. Um, I'm able to extrapolate based upon what I knew from the possession of it in 1990 or 1969, and found that um, the next location that it was in 1971 to 1979. It was located on the edge of an abyss, and she pulls up like on the edge of the abyss, and she pulls up like a schematic of basically what looks like a giant trench that's going down into the chasm of Earth or something else. Um, and you see like this little like dot appear in, on an area that's, you have to still go down into the chasm a little bit, and then it juts off and kind of has this like little area that it's, shows you where it's located. So, well, we do know that um, it looks like McGovern, or sorry, Mudden McGovern, was in possession of this from basically. So, from my understanding, is the murder started happening around 1969, and he didn't seem to have possession of the blade until later. So, at this point in time, we know that the blade is not necessarily required for committing the ritual murders that are happening. Um, but it is tied into what's going on here to a certain degree. If it's not necessarily involved in with the murders themselves, it might have something be tied into um, other acts, other things that can be done with these murders, other than just summoning another being from another universe. Um, so at this point in time, from I'm sending out some drones right now to do some analysis of this safe house in that Mudden had created in the Abyss. And my suggestion would be either A, you guys go right now and go check that out, or you report back in, and I can say that my studies have completed ahead of schedule, as I am a very big proponent of under promise, over deliver. And she says that with a very big smirk on her face because all of fucking customer service should figure that shit out. Yep. Or well, it's a major or general. General. Sorry. No. Understandable. Perfectly fine. If Ryder gave it to you, he meant for you to keep it, not to lease it, unless he comes and retrieves it later without you knowing. And that'll be his problem and yours, not mine. But um, so definitely sounds good to me. I'll fill out the proper paperwork and go about your ways, and I wish you luck in your endeavors. Um, so if you give me a little bit of time, I could probably come up with something for you for a one-time trip. All right. So she spends the next like 10 hours whipping together shit and making shit explode. Half the time you don't know whether she's going to kill all of you or, save the entire universe because that's possibly what she's doing every time she fucks with shit. Um, After that 10 hours passes, she's able to create a stable wormhole connection between her place and Stargate or Technogate. And you guys go back through, and you actually have a much more smooth ride. It actually doesn't feel like you had your entire fucking body ripped inside out and then reassembled and deassembled on a molecular level within a nanosecond. Felt like your whole body went through, and it was more like going like swimming through an ocean, and than really anything else. Like it really felt like you were coming up for air at the end of it. So it did have some strain on your lungs, but nothing traumatic in any way, shape, or form. So you guys peer on outside of Stargate. All the paperwork and everything had been sent ahead of time, and you were welcomed into Stargate and standard MIB protocol, of bringing you in and just doing a base evaluation, and then you guys are going to have to go through a psych evaluation. I want all of you to roll willpower, difficulty of 4. So things go pretty well with the breakdown interrogation type. I mean, it's more of a psychoanalyst than trying to get information about whether you're lying or being truthful or anything like that. So, you guys are deemed not tainted by the experience. Basically, kind of going through what your old job used to be. Um, so, yeah, everybody gets by. I mean, Phaedra and Robert really have strong wills regarding like they're just unfazed when it comes to like the psychoanalytics of what happened and how it's distressing one's mind and just you know is it are you seeing distortions in reality, any of that kind of shit. You guys like no, it's everything's all good. I'm back home. I'm in reality now. Reality is awesome. That wasn't reality. I understand that. There's a big difference. Uh, yeah, that's always on your psych eval though. So, um, then comes the true briefing or debriefing. Uh, you will be debriefing with. Let me double check here real quick. You'll be debriefing with Major Rick Anderson instead of General Bridges. You will, from here on out, report to Major Rick Anderson. General Bridges is technically still your direct superior in regards to um, in normal active status. However, General Bridges is away on important business and will not be back for the next month. The Void Engineer was General Bridges. Major Rick Anderson is a member of the NWO. Major Rick Anderson is the second in command and leader of Gate teams and uses the Gate to travel to the horizon and space and do all the shit that he does. He is um, definitely very close with General Bridges and is seen as two of them are considered best friends with each other. And have he has been involved in uh, Technogate since pretty much the beginning of this whole thing. Uh, Richard D. Anderson, yes, Rick D. Anderson. Um, but yes, so normally this is not Stargate. This is not Stargate. This is something else. Very different. If Stargate sues us, all power to you, I guess. We got really, we made it. We did it, guys. We made enough money that we lost it all. Anyways, so it, he's gonna be at one of the conventions. I swear, we're gonna get. Anyways, so you guys, normally, normal procedure is to split you up and do a debriefing individually to course to ensure that you at least got your stories straight and actually look for the true indiscrepancies that should be done, that should be there in any kind of interview. In this case, though, I am not going to be separating you, and you guys are going to be meeting with uh, Major Rick Anderson. But standard protocol at the end of our missions, I will be going through and wanting to do a one-on-one session of just what your debrief was and how what you saw. And I think that'll be kind of interesting. But for this specific one, because you guys all need to have your story straight, um, you will not be getting split up actually. Um, and maybe there's a little metagaming going on, and maybe there's other reasons why you guys are not getting split up. Major Rick Anderson, anyways, though, meets with all three of you at General Bridges' office, which is also out of protocol for this kind of debriefing, um, and kind of out of protocol actually for him to probably be in General Bridges' office, even if he is in command. Anyways, General Bridge or Major Rick Anderson is sitting behind the desk, feet up on the table, and a cigar in his mouth, and he's like, "So, how was the first time out?" Well, take me through it. He's a huge slurp. Ventium. Yeah, go on. And the vats. So he gets up, sits up kind of straight, and he's like, takes out the cigar or the cigar from his mouth and puts it out on the ashtray. He's like, "So that didn't happen." And he pulls out a drawer, pulls out three folders, slaps them down. They're open. They have like a report of, the standard report that gets filled out. So Ricky's character is extremely familiar with this. Robert. So Robert is very familiar with this this form like that gets filled out by you guys, in debriefing forms and stuff. You see that there's the psychoanalyst analytic part is in there and stuff. Um, and I want everybody to make a perception plus academics, difficulty of 8. How bad is that neg one? You botched. Okay. Um, this is gonna get interesting. I know exactly what I wanted out of that. So, but I didn't imagine it was gonna be you. Um, Phaedra did very well, 4 successes. Tycho got 1 success, so you're good. Um, so what I'm not going to explain is the basis of you guys kind of Phaedra and Tycho. You kind of get what's going on here a little bit. Phaedra more so than anybody else, but we're not going to really talk about what's going on here because it is far overshadowed by what Robert believes right now. Robert believes in that report it has everything that you guys did, including all of the things with your interactions with the digital web. and and we're not going to and I'm not going to tell you guys whether that's true or not at this point. So it is possible that that is what's in that report right now, or it's not. Because you guys don't get to really get to delve into this anymore. The botch is just going to overshadow all of this, and now you guys need to role play with the concept that you don't believe what Tycho believes, but you guys aren't going to be able to like read the reports because Robert, you're going to have to do something drastic-ish. Like what's your action that you're doing right now? Okay, so you basically whip out your lie detector test and you're like hook me up to her. All right, fate. So Anderson has just got a smirk on his face, and he just kind of has this like, go on, but he doesn't say go on. He doesn't even gesture go on. He's kind of got that smirkish face of go on. Go ahead. Uh, what's awareness? I'll get. What kind of information are you looking for? Um, you know what, for this, I'll give you wits, and awareness, and then I want you to make an entropy, level 1, uh, thing. Um, for this, because it's really going to be your foci, and I think that it's going to be a little bit, um, you're using your mind over technology, but the mind is technology. So okay, I would say that at this point in time, we could do the reverse, but I would think that you're just innately doing the the action and not necessarily something that's you're going to be enhancing this with magic, whether your character, you know, not that it right. Well, no, I would say that it. Yeah, I'm just gonna say then do just a wits and alertness, and we'll just stick with that you won't use magic. Um, so you did get success, so you didn't botch, so you just fail. Um, so it's not that bad. It would be really you roll three ones, but that's not how it works. You got to get zero successes. But I do really bad if you did three ones and no successes. That's like fucking horrible. Don't ever do that. Right? You just pull out your gun and you shoot yourself, and you're just like, see, I'm real. No, um, but with a failure though, it's still going to be bad. Failures are not good because good is just one success. Uh, you think that he's trying to get as much information out of you guys as possible right now, and that he's bluffing 100%. Like that this is, a faked up report to get you guys in a bunch of fucking trouble right now. But that's not really what they're looking to do. They don't want to get you in trouble. They just want to know what you know. Well, it depends on how you're going to be handling this. There's a couple like this is not a combat situation. This is magically. The one thing is that there's magic being done on you. The really best counter for magic, game mechanically wise, spheres, advanced technology, whatever the fuck you want to call it, um, is to combat it with a sphere. Um, so that is a mind entropy, wasn't it? Okay, so you do have entropy and you do have mind, so you can defend against it. Um, you can do it in one of two ways I'll allow for this. You can either um, do your sphere through an action, or you can do an action and being enhanced by a sphere. So you can either lie using your manipulation plus subterfuge difficulty of because he's going to make it easy for you. We're going to say base difficulty of 6 on this, and then he's gonna roll his which I believe um did I believe we had some rules behind that, did we not? Or did we have no rules yet for that? For the lie detector. For the lie detector gadget. Do we, well, he's actually got a gadget that was a. So so he's not using it as a foci. He's not. Right. I mean, there's a couple things that come into play here. That he can definitely do that as well, and he can use magic or just physical like action in order to manipulate the lie detector in a certain way. But yeah, this is a device or not a device. It is a gadget that has that we need to have specific rules for moving forward as well on how this thing works. So basically, this is just going to enhance uh, your ability to tell lies or to detect lies from people is the way that we're going to play this out. So it's basically just going to lower difficulties for you by three. But because you're going to be basically null and voiding that advantage, um, I'm going to still say that the device still has the ability to tell lies, even regardless of your, fudging the rules here and there. So the basis is going to be it's going to be both of you at difficulty of six, manipulation plus subterfuge versus wits plus subterfuge. Okay. So we're going to do extended uh, for this, you're gonna first one to 10 successes. You're going against each other right now. You technically are still fighting. You're coming in a little bit really like sounds like you're really close to the mic. Yeah, much better, much better. First to 10 successes wins. Phaedra is who you want to win in this case. Yep, one per turn that you can spend on this. Ooh, what's happened? Two successes, and we got one success, zero success. So, okay. I agree. I agree. So let's stop it real quick there. Sure. I already did. Sorry, that was me. Continue. All right, go ahead and continue rolling. So Anderson kicks his feet back up, grabs the cigar back, puts it back in his mouth, and is like, "Sign those papers," and that's what happened. Yes, go ahead and do academics plus wits. All right, so for the um, for Robert, um, you're looking through this, and it pretty much is taking what you guys said and pretty well detailing it out, but in a your point of view manner, and seems to be a perfect forgery of exactly what you want. And for Tycho, you kind of get that uh, you guys are, or he's basically he probably knows a lot more about what the hell is going on than you guys do, and he's definitely displaying that he is covering your asses right now, and not to worry about it. It's you're you're doing what they want. Uh, um, I would say I'll give you this for a willpower point. You have a strong inkling, and in fact, a like dredging back up into a memory. He probably knows Ryder. So do you guys sign it or have any more? Thank you, good sirs. We'll be getting back to you on the moving forward with your dispatchment to the abyssal realm, but I think that you guys deserve a good week off. Have fun. All right. By the way, there are guards stationed at every major important entry point into here, at least two. Okay. Amber, make a willpower roll, difficulty of 4. You don't burst out laughing. In... All right. So you guys get back to section 42, no problems. And then, or are you guys heading straight to your mom's house? No, all of you. That was all of your paperwork. Like that's everything. You, oh yeah. Um, Everybody make a perception plus alertness. Difficulty of 9. Okay, so with the ones, you do see a note is on the underneath one of the tables, and Robert, when you're notified of this, you like go down to like investigate it with like, how did I not notice this? And hit your head on the table. Make a stamina roll, difficulty of 6. So you now have a nice little lump, and in within 30 minutes to an hour, you're gonna have nice big black eyes. Um, you just take a point of bashing damage. You like whack your head really hard on freaking end table like corner, just perfectly right on like the temple area. Like, well, not temple, like way away from you. You didn't take lethal damage or anything. Just a nice little bump in black eye. Um, any case, the posty note that is underneath this table has a little statement written on it that says it is safe to talk, or it's always good to talk about things over a good plate at Denny's where nobody can hear. And then the posty note just kind of dissipates into reality. And Robert doesn't remember seeing that. All right. When you guys arrive at Denny's, roll awareness plus perception. Perception awareness. Robert C gets 3 successes. One success for Tycho. All right. Uh, oh, that's a good question. Who's got a vehicle? Madison does have taxis, and it's not COVID time, so yeah. There is also taking a requisition vehicle if you want, but that's probably bugged to a certain degree. No, no. Madison Taxi. You guys take him in at Madison Taxi, which is probably also run by the NWO. You never fucking know. You guys, Golden Eye. You guys arrive at Denny's. You guys all got enough successes that I'm just gonna say that you do feel that there is some kind of odd uh, nexus point that's in this area that there is a dead zone of being able to retrieve information from here, and you know that the correspondence or information sphere is not very useful in this Denny's for some reason. and you guys are seated in the back area, and uh, the area is kind of sectioned off and made kind of private for you, the whole back area. Well, just that it's a if you've have you ever been to the Denny's on East Washington? There's that back room that they can close the doors to. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons a whole shitload back in that back area, and we would get the because they would lock it off after a certain time. We're gonna say that it's midnight right now, um, and at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock they close off that back area and don't let people go back there. So you guys have your own little private area for you guys to discuss things, and it seems like the staff also seems to have this odd, like they really only seem to be paying attention to what you're ordering. They don't seem to be paying attention, and you kind of experienced this last time that you guys were brought here. Well, actually, anyways, Major. We are the technocracy. We are the robots. You could get a car to come to you. All right, and you heading back to the base, or are you heading home? All right. I believe that after about 6 hours or so, um, I think that the first bruise level, you maybe even faster than that, goes away. So you're all healed by the time you get home. So not quite a black eye, actually. That lasts actually a lot longer, but you felt like it was gonna be a black eye. You sure? You talked about it the whole fucking time. It didn't need to actually. Um, all right, so the next week you guys have we have about 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. Do we want to go on a little bit longer, or do we want to call it at that point? Um, all right, we'll go to 10:20 then. And I think for the last little 30 minutes, you guys have about a week. So we can. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to kind of make come up with some ideas of what you want to do. We'll take a little bit of a break here, and then we're going to come together and decide what you guys want to do in that week, and then see if we can, uh, what we can bust out in about 25 minutes then. All right, so a little 5 minute here, and so I think if we're gonna be, what I'm gonna try and do is take a at least a 15-minute break every hour and 15 minutes, give or take. Um, so trying to move forward, I'm gonna try and schedule it out a little bit better. Hopefully, I can get better at getting to this fucking thing and I don't have to go buy a fucking car again. I hope that never happens. Yep. But yeah, in any case, all right, we'll take five here real quick, and then we'll come back together, decide what we do in a week, and then decide on what the next step is from there. AFK. Such a crybaby. Well, you know, sometimes it doesn't take a full 5 minutes. In any case, not to cut off all the political talk, uh, but so you guys have 1 week. We're gonna go day by day. So day one, um, is the day after you guys sleep for the first time. So everybody gain back a willpower. Also gain 4 experience for exceptional role playing in the last chapter, along with um, 6 experience. So 10 altogether. So is there anything in particular that you guys want to do on day one? All right. It would be pretty crazy for you to be there with them. Definitely would say that this would be one area you hadn't gone for sure. Um, so the abyss. So if you guys are gonna do some research on the abyss, let's do first a intelligence plus research roll. Each one of you can do this, and you guys will be combining all of your successes for a day one research binge. Looks like we got three successes, two successes, and two successes. All right, so you guys start off the day with some pretty light reading on the abyss, the base concept. So the abyss is one of the 13 charted near realms or near dimensions. Um, we're not going to go into all 13 of them. We're just going to talk about specifically the abyss. The basis behind the abyss is basically that it's a huge chasm in umbral scape, surrounded by a realm of barren mud and rock. Um, there are many paths leading there, so many that some travelers claim the abyss interlopes itself in the way of travelers. The border of the realm is a shroud of mist. Um, some of the main things that you're going to kind of focus in on probably are some of the base laws and concepts of um, going to the abyss and what the void engineers have kind of mapped out from their journeys there. So a lot of it is kind of codifying and less of like, finding out. Well, I guess we'll go over some different things, but the first thing we're going to focus on is laws. Um, so there are quite a few different laws that are in the abyss. I'm just going to kind of go over them really quickly. Anything without a natural ability to fly that falls into the center of the abyss is lost forever. The abyss amplifies powers of summoning, or sorry, summoning spirits. Um, if you stare into the abyss, crazy shit can happen. Exploring the abyss by climbing down its walls can lead to discovery of knowledge of oneself and an understanding of mystery, possibly justifying purchases for enigmas or other uh, self-enlightening uh, things such as spheres and the likes I would allow. Um, no action involving the expenditure of quiescence will work in the abyss. Number six, anything lost in the Umbra will eventually arrive in the abyss. Guru, or sorry, you're not Guru. It gets harder to travel deeper down into the abyss. It gets harder to be able to like see what's going on. So there's a thick cloud of darkness that gets thicker as you go down, basically. Um, After you go far enough and you go deep enough into the darkness, you will go insane. Um, Hallucinations can be similar to those encountered by the astronauts in the Space Odyssey 2001 movie. Uh, all intimidation checks made in the abyssal realm receive 2 automatic successes. In the phase of the moon, as well as daytime or nighttime, has a great uh, effect on how easy it is to um, do perception rolls inside of the abyss. During daytime, new moon, or a crescent moon, it's a difficulty of 10 on all perception-based rolls. On a half moon, it's a difficulty of 8. On a Gibbons moon, it's difficulty 6. On a full moon, it is difficulty 4. Full full moon is. I would expect it to be new moon as well, but new moon is difficulty of 10. Crescent moon is difficulty of 10. Daylight is difficulty of 10. Full moon is difficulty of 4. Not just bright because daylight is bright, but it has the the more that the moon shines down on the abyssal realm, the easier it is to see. And then there are gemstones in gold on the golden path that will provide you with great wealth. However, there is a curse that goes along with it. Uh, so that's what you guys kind of get out of your day one research. Um, mhm. Yeah, basically the worm is the master here. There's Nexus crawlers all the way to Bane. You know, Bane's the Nexus crawlers, basically, of all the sort of madness and insanity spirits are out here as well. Um, so spirits in the abyss, spirits rarely enter the realm of the abyss. They must materialize to do so, um, and they lose touch with the rest of the Umbra. The charms of break reality and solidify reality do not work here. The abyss possesses a strange reality of its own. Charms that affect physical planes from the Umbra may not be used against people here. If the spirit's physical form is destroyed, it dies and is gone forever. Even a familiar spirit refers to the weight outside of the realm instead of entering. The abyss works like a giant magnet in the Umbra. Um, the abyss aids the summoner of compelling whoever it is summoning to arrive. Spirits fear the abyss, and threat of being sent to the abyss will add to any intimidation attempt to use on them. Also, it is believed that any lost in the Umbra will eventually come to the abyss. Let's see here. Nope, because yeah, there is no natural dissonance de of I would say yes. At this point, you wouldn't be able to know on day one what that is, but you believe that there are possibilities. Okay. Yep. They process the say that it will take us a while to process the request and let you know what we come back with. All right. Anything else you guys want to do on day one? It's basically about midnight almost. Mhm. All right. So day two, what would you likes to do? Correct. Um, yes, if you wanted to raise a sphere at this point. Uh, okay. New ability should be three, or is did I? Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, actually, I think what I linked here is not actually correct, but we'll use that for right now. We'll fix that later, or not fix it, just go off the correct thing later. But um, whatever that says, we'll go off of right now. So two experience, yes, for new ability. All right, Phaedra. I mean, does the technocracy? Yes. Um, is it well? Is it not vulgar? No, it's vulgar. Yeah, 1997. I mean, there's definitely possible devices and stuff like that out there. I mean, it's it's definitely vulgar. It just, so at vulgar you can go up to, what gods can do, but with technology. Um, but you're still vulgar. Without being vulgar, it's 20 to 30 years in advance. So you kind of can look at our technology and what's going to be, out in the next, 7 years, give or take, or 8 years, and that's what's considered not vulgar. But vulgar, you can go all the way to I can blow up the fucking moon. Why? Because I have a nuke that blows up the moon. What was that? Um, I mean, one of the things is that this will be kind of nice for you guys because it should be fairly barren, and one of the reasons why it's considered a safe haven for him. So, I mean, there are crazy worm that are running around and possible other things that are around in here, but they're all physical manifestations. So, there is a bunch more that you guys can research as well. But but for the most part, it's very possible you might run into nothing, you know. So to make yourself look like a doesn't or a yeah. So I would say, yep, they can do research. They'll get back to you. It'll take them 7 days to process that basically and get you guys items to see if that'll fit. If not, they'll at least give you something that they think will be useful. All right, and Ricky, do you have anything that you wanted to do? This is day two. Oh, because day one is when you did training, right? Or research. Day two is training, and then okay, so day. Then I'm actually gonna stop us at there because we got about 5 minutes, and we'll just kind of wrap up with. Um, I'm gonna give you guys experience at the end of this chapter, so we're not quite there yet. Um, so at this point, though, is there any comments? Anything? How'd you feel about this game compared to last game, and any comments, stuff like that? Oh, you should drop that link in Technogate channel, and I should watch some of that then too, just because it'd be kind of nice. Ooh, that sounds interesting. All right, have a good one. Yeah. Yeah, 6.5 feet, quote unquote. Yeah, yeah, just a new one. Welcome to the new world, man. Have a good one.